One afternoon, his 14-year-old sister, Aminata, disappeared while walking home from middle school in Ouagadougou. The security cameras had been hacked. The guards had been drugged. When he finally found her in the darkest corners of Europe, he wasn't just facing human traffickers, but the very system that had long exploited his country. And this time, the war wouldn't just be fought in Burkina Faso, it would reach the streets of Paris and Amsterdam. 3:30 p.m. Everything seemed normal. Aminata had just left Eamon Malik Middle School, located in the safest district of Ouagadougou. Under the blazing African sun, she clutched her math book tightly and smiled at her friend Fatima. "We have an exam tomorrow. My brother will help me study, like always." It was a 15-minute walk home, a familiar route with familiar faces. But that evening, Aminata never made it home. At 4:45 p.m., President Ibrahim Traoré's mother, Mariam, called him with trembling hands. "Aminata isn't home yet. She's always back by 4:30, and she's not answering her phone." President Traoré was in a meeting with the defense minister. When he heard the fear in his mother's voice, his heart sunk. He stood up and ordered, "Call Mamadou, now." 6 p.m. Emergency protocols activated. The investigation revealed chilling facts. Every security camera on Aminata's route had gone dark at exactly 3:25 p.m. The two guards meant to follow her were found unconscious, drugged. "This is professional work," Security Chief Mamadou said, showing bling footage on his tablet. "A coordinated hack, deliberate sabotage." Traoré's face hardened. Where was the security team? "This was not a random kidnapping. This is political," Mamadou replied. Traoré knew this wasn't just a crime, it was a message. And he was about to respond in a way no one expected. For 3 days, silence. No ransom, no demands, no leaks to the press. It was as if a 14-year-old girl had vanished from the face of the earth. Then, at 2:30 a.m. on the fourth night, Traoré's private phone rang. Blocked number. He answered, groggy. "Hello?" A cold voice, speaking French. "Ibrahim, I am not important. What matters is that your sister stays alive." "What do you want?" Traoré asked, eyes wide. "Cancel the gold mine nationalization decree you signed last month. Cancel the uranium deal with China. And stop your so-called revolution for African resources." Traoré clenched his fist. "And if I refuse?" The voice was cruel. "Then your sister will thrive in her new job in Amsterdam. Very high demand for 14-year-olds. "I'm giving you 72 hours, the voice said, and the line went dead. That night, Traoré didn't sleep. He gathered his most trusted advisors. Mamadou, the security chief. Konaté, the intelligence director. Sarah Kamara, 28th, Burkina Faso's top cyber warfare expert, and an MIT-trained analyst. "This isn't just about Aminata," Traoré said. "They didn't just attack my family. They attacked every child in Africa." Sarah analyzed the phone call. It was routed through 7 countries via the Tor network, but the origin was Switzerland. The Amsterdam reference was deliberate to mislead us. Konaté added, "They want us chasing shadows. Meanwhile, we have another problem: 73 Burkinabe girls have vanished over the last 2 years, all on student visas. Average age, 15. Traoré slammed the table. This is bigger than my sister. Day 5, Traoré went public. He addressed the nation on live television. My fellow citizens, my sister Aminata has been missing for 5 days. Now I know where she is. This was not a random crime. The people who took her want me to abandon our fight for Africa's independence. But they didn't just target one family. They've targeted every child in Africa. And I promise you, they will pay. Operation Amsterdam. 6th night. 18 elite commandos from 4 African nations arrived as tourists. Sarah Kamara's cyber team disabled the building's security systems. 3:20 a.m. Operation began. Alpha Team, rear entry secure. Bravo Team, basement clear. Charlie Team, main target in sight. Radio silence. Then, 12 girls located on the first floor, 8 more in the basement. Then came the words, "We have Imanata, alive and well." Tears streamed down Traoré's face. But it wasn't over. Dozens of traffickers were arrested. Sarah's digital forensics uncovered documents linking major corporations, banks, and security firms to the trafficking network. The world awoke to a scandal. 47 girls rescued. 23 traffickers arrested. And the truth
At the
was
airport,
out.
Aminata sobbed in her brother's arms. "I was so scared, big brother, but I knew you'd come." Traoré whispered, "I'll never leave you again." Facing the media, he said, "I didn't just save my sister, I saved 47 families. And I've shown the world what happens when you target Africa's children." Global consequences. Human trafficking investigations launched in the Netherlands. Political resignations demanded in France and Belgium. International outrage exploded. At the African Union Summit, Traoré declared, "They steal our children like they steal our gold, but we've exposed them. From this moment, Africa will protect its own." The African Child Protection Accord was born. 32 nations signed it.
Today, Aminata is 16. She studies mathematics. She dreams of MIT. But more than that, she's a symbol of resistance. In an interview, she said, "People call me the rescued girl, but I'm more than that. I'm safe because my brother made all of Africa my family." 6 months later, the Aminata Foundation was launched to fight child trafficking across Africa, supported by all 54 nations. 1 year later, at the United Nations, Traoré said, "We are building a world where anyone who touches our children will answer to all of us." They thought Traoré's greatest weakness was his family, but they had awakened his greatest strength, the resolve of an African father to protect his child. And that strength changed an entire continent. This wasn't just the story of a rescued sister. It was the awakening of a continent. When one brother stood up for his sister, all of Africa rose for its daughters. If this story touched your heart, please share it. Like, comment, and subscribe so you never miss another true and inspiring story. Thank you.